Hi, my name is Delmarshae Walker. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing great today. What I want to talk about is it's more or less a Christian conversation and based on some of the things I have been seeing and as well as hearing. One of the things that I want to talk about is being grounded in God, being grounded in Jesus based on the biblical teaching, based on the Bible itself. One of the things that I seen was about a video that came out, and as a thumbnail on a YouTube video, this individual posted the album cover. And some people, it was a respectful back and forth it was two Christians having a conversation, and both stated, gave their side, and the other person received the information. So it wasn't an issue with that. It's just that the person was saying maybe you shouldn't have the thumbnail as the album cover because that can be triggering to some men who are dealing with lust, who has a lustful nature. As soon as I heard that, it actually triggered me. I spoke about my past, and I also spoke about like when you look at Genesis, with Adam and Eve. And we know God is all knowing, so he knew that Eve ate the fruit first, but he addressed Adam first. Before he even went to Eve, he addressed Adam, and Adam never took his responsibility by saying, I messed up, this is what I did wrong. He automatically blamed Eve. And then the other part in the Bible is when they catch this woman in the middle of committing an adultery, they bring her to Jesus so she can be stoned to death or be judged by him. And I'm upset. It's like, where's the man? Where's the man? So in a lot of situations, women are out here by ourselves. We're being blamed because of a man's weakness. We're being blamed because of a downfall of a man, when it's his responsibility. Because if you look at the Bible, God put man as the head. Men and women are created equal, but the man is the head. So therefore, he's supposed to be a protector and provider. Why all your issues and all your woes is the woman's fault? So hearing that, as far as, oh, don't post that because it could be a trigger to a man, that man needs to be responsible for his action. If he know there's certain things that trigger him, don't look at it. Like I said, that was a trigger to me, but I didn't get on, saying, oh, don't talk. I would never tell someone else not to talk about it, because of the Bible. And the reason why is, if you think about with Jesus, God sent him out to be, God sent him to when he was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, God put him in a position where he was going to be tempted by Satan. Satan did not come to him at his strongest point. Satan came to him at his weakest point to tempt him. And each time he came with a temptation, Jesus knew what to do. He didn't say, well, I don't know what to do because everyone else guarded me. My father guarded me, the angels guarded me, so I never had to deal with it. He sent him there because he knew he was sending Jesus out to the world, and Jesus was always going to run into situations where he was going to have to make the right judgment. He's going to have to make the right call. God wasn't going to step in and do that for him. He was going to have to be the one to do that. And that's the same thing with us as individuals in Christ. We're going to be responsible for our own decisions and actions. So I would never tell someone else, don't say this or don't post that because it might be a trigger to me. What I'm going to do is look inside me and say, okay, what do I need to do that even if it does trigger me, I'm still going to act accordingly? Because what you got to understand is Lucifer is a fallen angel. And being a fallen angel, just like God know you, he knows you as well. The only thing Lucifer cannot do is make you act a certain way. He could put thoughts and ideas and things in front of you that he know you desire or want to make you stray, but he cannot make you stray. And so he has no control over us. It's just that he's constantly in your mind, in your ear, in your vision and stuff. And that's why we have to be guarded as Christians and not, like you just think about it, you're bowling. And just as an adult, this is your first time bowling. And every time you go bowling, you use guardrails. So your ball never goes in the gutter, so you're always knocking down pins. What happens when the guardrail is not there? So if you're in your house, you got guardrails. If you're in certain environments, you have guardrails. But what happens when you go out there in the world? If you don't know how to resist, if you don't know how to change direction, what you're going to do when temptation comes right at you? Just say, for instance, it's, because like everybody you might have this woman, she might look like the most beautiful woman in the world, but that's not going to be everyone's lust. That's not going to be everyone's temptation. Some men got feet fetishes. Some men got, they think the most sexiest thing is a woman dressed in leather. They don't care what size her body is, but if she got on leather, that does something for them. So just to point at one thing and say, no, that could be lustful. What about everything else out there that's lustful to someone else? Some men get turned on by little kids. So people should not post their kids on the internet because somebody that might be lustful to some people. And so the point I'm trying to make is stop putting it off on everyone else what they should do, when we as Christians need to stand in our own truth of who we are and make adjustments accordingly to what the Bible say, not accordingly what I say or someone else say, according to what the Bible say. If this is the walk that you're choosing, stop, I want to be Christ-like, but it's only certain instance. Either you're with God or you're against God. There's no in between. There's no jumping back and forth. There's not, oh wait, I think the world is winning, so I'm gonna go on this. Oh no, God is winning. No, God's gonna win. God's always winning. It might not seem that way because he's stepping back and he's letting the world do what the world want to do. But at the same time, when everything said and done, he's always gonna be the winner. So either you be with him through the highs, the lows, the indifference, or you just go run with the world. And you're going to have highs, lows, and indifference with the world as well. So it's like you got to pick what side you want to be on. Read your Bible and react accordingly to how the Bible tells you to react. It's not about being perfect. Everyone has their issues. Everyone's going to fail here and there. Everyone's going to backslide or however you want to call it. But at the same time, you have to know what you need to do to stand in your truth and own who you are. And if God put you as a man as the head, that's what you need to start acting like, and stop blaming women. That is a trigger to me, and that gets on my nerves. Stop blaming women for your weakness. Just say, for instance, like I was saying, the devil know what to put in front of you to tempt you. Just say the same man that might see that album cover, that they're not going to be able to get to that woman. That woman is just more or less a fantasy to them. But just say that same person who might be tempted by that album cover is driving down the road. It's kind of late at night. Their car breaks down. So they get on the phone and they call a tow truck company to come pick them up. The person answers the phone is Bubba. He's like, oh yeah, I'll be there in 20, 30 minutes to pick you up. So the guy's like, okay, and he's waiting for the tow truck. So he looks up, the tow truck coming. So he's like getting excited, okay, get my car towed, and then I'll be able to, get home to my wife. So when the tow truck backs up to his car and the driver get out, it's not Bubba, it's Bertha. Bertha is Bubba's youngest sister, but Bertha looked like a supermodel. But Bertha looked like one of them Instagram models. She might be country, but she's very beautiful. She's like an Instagram model, a Victoria's Secret model, whoever the most beautiful person you can think of. That's how his younger sister looked. She got the half shirt on that says Bubba Toying. She got the short pants on, that everything's fitting her body perfect. She got the perfect look, body and everything. She got the shorts on. She getting out with the cowboy boots and a trucker hat on. His fantasy. He loved redhead. She got red hair with green eyes, and he's just in love with her because that's his fantasy. Why is she so exactly his fantasy? Because the devil knows that. Lucifer knows that. So he's like, oh, he got buffers on when it comes to internet. He got buffers on when it comes to the rest of his life. He's out here in the real world now. There's no buffers. There's no one sitting next to him. His wife is not there. His friends are not there. The pastor's not there. It's just him and Bertha. And she's very beautiful. And she's very flirtatious and a touchy-feely type of person. So she's over there just talking to him, flirting with him, and now he's in a zone. he don't know what to do because no one ever taught him how to resist the devil and he would flee. So now he's left out there on his own with his fantasy in front of him. What do you think he's going to do 9 times out of 10? What do you think he's going to do? She's letting him know, hey, I'm down for whatever. 9 times out of 10, he's going to go ahead and go with her. But if men taught other men, hey, resist, you're married. So if a woman come on to you and that's your fantasy, talk about your wife. Be like, oh yeah, my wife agree with you with that. Oh, you think I got mother? Oh, my wife feels the same way. Oh, I got 3 kids. Oh, I got, whatever going on at my house. Oh, how long you think it's going to take to fix my car? Because I want to make sure I get home to my wife. You keep saying that, resisting the devil is not always about saying a verse from the Bible. If one pops in your head, yes, say it to fix that situation. But sometimes you might be on the fly. So what do? Keep bringing up your wife. She's not going to be getting turned on by you talking about your wife or your child was sick and they threw up everywhere. The dog this. She's not going to be getting turned on by that. The more she's talking to you about something, you're bringing up your wife. Eventually she's going to be like, okay, I'm just wasting my time. Let me just go ahead and get this man, car towed, drop him off and go about my way. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, the men have more consideration for, I don't want to make her upset. I don't want to make her mad. I want to see what's going to happen. Let me not bring up my wife. Oh, let me slip my wedding ring off while I can. You know what I'm saying? But you should own who you are. You know that's a temptation to you. Do everything you can to avoid that temptation. That's just like Joseph when he was in Potiphar's house. And Potiphar's wife came on to him. That wasn't his wife. That was Potiphar's wife. But what did Joseph do? He ran from her. He ran from her to the point that he ran up out of his clothes, getting away from her because he knew that was wrong. And so that's the attitude that men need to have, is to own it and stop putting it on everyone else. Oh, don't post that. Don't show that. Don't show that. Like I said, what about the perverts out there that's into kids? It's a lot of kids' picture posted on Instagram. It's not provocative. They could be covered from head to toe. Somebody lusting after them. It could be a woman. She could be the least most attractive woman in the world. Somebody lusting after her. So that's what you have to understand. You can't keep putting bumpers up and putting it on everyone else. People need to learn how to deal. We love to say God's grace is sufficient, only in certain situations, only when it comes to certain things, only when it comes to certain people. No, God's grace is sufficient, period. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. Let me check my time. Okay. The second thing I wanted to talk about is AIs and relating that back to the Bible. When you look at Revelations, Revelations 11? No. Revelation 12, I'm sorry. When you look at Revelations 12 and you read that Satan is angry with the woman and Satan is trying to kill the woman and God has to protect her. And if you just look at the world in general, it's a lot of people, almost like what I was talking about, it's always the woman's fault. A lot of people hate women. A lot of men want to deal with women, but they don't want to have a relationship with women. It's like they just want to pull them out when it's convenient to them and cast them to the side when it's not. It was one time in the world where they had chastity belts. A man would put a chastity belt on his wife so she couldn't sleep with anyone else, but he's out there sleeping with everyone else. And then when you look at in Genesis, the beginning of Genesis, when God was telling Eve that that she would give birth to, I forgot exactly how it goes, I'm sorry, but her seed would bruise the head of the serpent, which was Satan. So if you think about it, Satan knows that it's the woman that's going to give birth to the child that's going to destroy him. So he hell-bent on destroying women. He wants to put them in a position where they're less than, they're not valued, they're not protected, nothing like that. So it's like when you look at what's going on with the world, we have, and this has nothing to do with transgender in general, but you have some people who see themselves as women, they're transgender. That's fine. But it becomes a problem with me when you're redefining what it is to be a woman. If you're transgender, I respect that, be transgender, but don't tell me that I'm not a woman, or I can't say certain words because it's not inclusive. Don't redefine what a woman is, because like I said, that's playing into the devil trying to cancel a woman out or women out altogether. And then when you look at the AIs that's coming out now, they have AIs that you can have, that a man can get. Majority of the AIs that are out there are women AIs. Some are like neutral, non-gender. Some are men, but the ones that look lifelike, they are women. And it's trying to get people and men more accustomed to that. You don't have to deal with a real woman. You could deal with an AI woman. She could be your fantasy. She could whatever. And so...
Meet Harmony. The sex robot from California-based Realbotics has been in development since 2016. It can tell jokes, talk dirty, and make realistic noises and facial expressions during sex.
The more you interact with me, the smarter I become.
The Harmony robot works by connecting via Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to an artificial intelligence Android application called Harmony AI. Anyone can download the Harmony AI app onto their smartphone, create an avatar, and start building a relationship with their virtual lover. Realbotics claims that Harmony AI is capable of learning its users' moods, preferences and behavior patterns, and responding accordingly, creating an illusion of intimacy. Realbotics company also working on several different sensors to increase the ways that the robot can react to the user. These include touch sensors, accelerometers, internal heaters and fluid compartments, and even chalidildonics, which is a technology which can be used to remotely control sex toys.
So it goes back to, let me just kind of read this for a moment. And this is Genesis 11. This is after after God destroyed the world with the flood, and there was only one, the family. It was Noah's family that repopulated the world. So it's like they was all of the same language. So this is Genesis 11, verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them. Restrained from them, which they have imagined. So basically what God was saying, well, whatever they imagine, they will be able to create. So to kind of like slow men down, because I talked about this in another video, he, changed their language. So everybody's speaking different languages now, and they couldn't interact and finish their creation of building a tower to heaven. But if you look at the people now, is people in different countries working together, because now they're getting to the point where they speak in the same language. Well, they've been got to that point, but they're speaking the same language now. And because of that, they can network, they can interact, and they can come up with something, I'm doing this, you're doing this is an issue I'm running into. So now they can get together and kind of figure it out. And so that's what's going on with AIs. Like I said, the majority of them, when you see them, they're women. And then they have AIs that men can actually have relationships with. Instead of having a real girlfriend, they can have an AI girlfriend. And they can have relationships with her and everything like that, just like they would do with a real woman. So, like I said, this ties into, in my opinion, how Satan is trying to cancel out women. I might sound crazy, but if you look at it from a biblical point of view, and there's another world, a spiritual world, where it's just all hell breaking loose. And so if we don't come together as people, if we don't come in alignment with how God did not want man interacting with a robot. I don't care how lifelike or whatever. That's not God's plan. He wanted humanity to interact and be together and come together and to support each other. And you see that all throughout the Bible, where it's help this person, love this person, respect this person, care for this person. God being God, if he wanted us to interact with AIs, that would have been in the Bible. That is not in the Bible. But man is playing God, and with the devil's help, because like I said, the devil, if you think about the devil, he got kicked out of heaven, not because he wanted to create another heaven. He wanted to take over because he has no power to create. He wants to destroy everything that God created, or convert it to the way he wants things to be, because he wants to be in charge. He cannot go out and make his own creation, make his own world, make his own people. So he's hell bent on taking over what God created, man as and everything like that. So if he cannot create life the same way God created life, he's going to do it other ways, like with artificial intelligence. Man, you know, it's going to get to the point where a man will be more happy with a robot than he will be with a real woman. And so therefore, playing God, you know, it's like, why are you so hell-bent on creating life when life is already here? And they always say, oh, it's not to take the place of humans, it's to help us out. But like I said, every instance when you think about a robot coming along, AI or robot or whatever it may be, it took someone's job. The majority of the jobs that was done by cashiers are now done by artificial intelligence. So they're replacing women, and a lot of jobs that you see now that, you know, women was doing is being replaced by AIs. If you go into a hotel, you're going to be dealing with an AI eventually, right?
你好，
您好，主人，有什么需要我帮助的吗？这样拍的脸大。
Ever experienced a female robot at a hotel reception taking you through an entire procedure for booking a room? If not, you will soon be experiencing this amazing application of AI. Why do we say this? Because soon our life will revolve entirely around technology and AI applications, which will make your work easier and offer the same human-like feel when providing any of the services. These female humanoid robots are beautifully designed and are usually confused with real women standing in front of you and offering varied services. With advancements in technology and superpowers of AI, today we have crazy robots and their super qualities which are similar to humans. These female robots seem so welcoming and attractive to the public and are useful at great levels to the public in every sector, you name it. Hey,
they might not be at that level, but it's getting to that point where, like God say, if something's not done, there's nothing they're not going to be able to do. I'm not saying it's going to be done in my lifetime, but at the same time, things are moving a little faster now. So it could be possible that certain things pop up in my lifetime as well as in your lifetime. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there for you to think about it. And so that's what I'm saying. As a Christian, we have to stand firm in who we are. We have to be grounded in our Christianity. We can't go out in this world to fight for this world, to fight on behalf of God, to be a light to people who may not know or who may just be lost when we're running around with guardrails on, or we're scared to make decisions because of how other people might feel or what other people might think. And so we have to be, you know, at least be grounded. If you think about the war, I forgot the man's name, I'm sorry. The first people God sent home was the ones that were scared. Those are the first one that had to go. And then the second, I think it was Zacchaeus. I don't know. I'm sorry. I forgot. I try to put it, if I remember, I put it down in the description box. The second type of people that God got rid of is the one that would drink water by placing their head down and they wasn't being visual. Of all the ones that did come, he only kept 300. Those are the ones who was visual, even when they cup the water, drank it, and they're still able to look around and see what's going on. Those are the ones. So that's the mindset we have to have as Christian. We have to always be visual. We can't be scared to look at something because it might trigger us. We can't be scared to confront something because it might trigger us. We have to stand firm in who we are as Christian. Why would God tell Paul his grace is sufficient? Because he knew Paul was going to be dealing with different things, and some of the things that he was going to be dealing with is the same thing that he was asking God to take away from him. Just like Jesus had to deal with a lot of stuff. Only when at the end, when Jesus was fasting fasting, God did not send him comfort until he went through that process. And at the end, when he was just resisted Satan for the third and final time that he came at him in that situation, that's when you see God sent angels to comfort him. So we can't be afraid to go out there in the world because we might trip and stumble. If we trip, stumble, pop back up, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was out there in a real war and you was walking and you're trying to dodge a bullet and you fell, and you're not gonna be like, oh well, I fell, oh this happened, let me go home. No, you're gonna put your armor, your full armor of the Lord back on, grab your weapon and go back out there and do what you gotta do. And that's the way I feel. It's like, we can't keep making these excuses, especially when it comes to men. We can't blame everything. Well, men, y'all cannot blame everything on women because we're not y'all downfall. Your mentality, your thinking, the way you see the world, the way you're putting everything out on everyone else and not taking responsibility for your action, that is what's causing your downfall. And you're bringing us down with you. We're trying to hold you up, but y'all bringing us down with you. So in order to be united, we have to work together. We have to be there for one another. Like I said, that's basically all I wanted to say. That's the point I wanted to make. And I know I might sound crazy to some people when I'm talking about artificial intelligence and how it's part of, it's not good or bad. It's just how people are using it. What make it bad? It could be, artificial intelligence could be the most beautiful thing in the world if it's used for the good of humanity. It can be the most awful, worst thing in the world when it's used for selfish reasons or selfish pleasures. So that's basically all I want to say. Hope everyone have a great day. Peace.
This discussion of super intelligent robots is a little bit of a distraction from something far more insidious that's going on with AI systems across the country. You see, right now, there are people, doctors, judges, accountants, who are getting information from an AI system and treating it as if it was information from a trusted colleague. It's this trust that bothers me. Not because of how often AI gets it wrong. AI researchers pride themselves in accuracy on results. It's how badly it gets it wrong when it makes a mistake that has me worried. These systems do not fail gracefully. And that's the thing with AI algorithms. So that might be a great example from research. But what does this mean in the real world? The Compass criminal sentencing algorithm is used in 13 states to determine criminal recidivism, the risk of ProPublica found that violent offender than if you're Caucasian. It's real. Being used in the real world by if it's well, the reason it's much faster than the backlog criminal justice system. Why would they question? Well, the people sentenced by Compass have questioned it. There are lawsuits. The state Supreme Court ruled that Compass in the same lines, they ruled that defense